So you've been missing out on all the action, huh?
Nah. Last night, you know what I did last night? Well,
What?
was it last night? Hold on. Nah, it was Friday night. You know, well, no, yesterday was Friday night. It was Thursday night.
Thursday night?
I had went back and listened to all the diss records.
Yeah. Okay.
But between Drake and Kendrick.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So we need to talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. We
That's
definitely
the
got to
that's
talk
the that's
about
the
that.
latest.
Yeah, man. So what you think about it? Let's go in.
Well, what everybody is saying, that's what I listened to it, man. I listened to all the records,
Uh-huh.
and for me, I think it's gonna be a shock to everybody because out of all the diss records, I feel like Drake's records was more. His punches on the record was more there for me than Kendrick's was,
Okay.
and I'm gonna tell you why. Because people forgot about this battle. They forgot about the MGK versus Eminem battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in that battle, people well Eminem, but MGK, that record to me,
Yeah.
and I know Game had mentioned it too. That record to me was, I mean, that was out of
Yeah.
here. He killed that.
Yeah. It was. It definitely was. That's for sure. He did work him on the cadence and everything.
I mean, so I listened to because uh the Euphoria record
Yeah. Yeah.
right after I listened to the um the push-ups,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and just like Gilly the Kid said, it's like, you know, you dissing him to Al Green. You know, how you gonna diss him to Al Green?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? With the love song. I mean, it's
Yeah.
that's love, making music.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt the same way because I was listening to it and I was just like, it didn't have that shock value.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like even back in the day, say some of the low rated battles, like you remember the battle between Saigon and Joe Budden when
Yeah.
they had their little battle. Even when they had their records, they had some punches in there that was like, oh, okay. Ooh, to me, Kendrick, it seemed like to me he was just trying to make a concept record.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the what's the one where he did was it Meet the Grams where he was talking to his son?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good record, but it still to me wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? Then I listened to the what's the name of the other record Drake came out with that was kind of the up tempo right before the
Family Man.
yeah, Family Matters. Yeah, Family Matters. Well, I was like, I don't know, because he's coming with lines every line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So somebody in the comments said, Busy Banks. I think that's your girl's husband, ain't it?
Who's that?
Is that
Yeah.
Taj?
That's Andy.
Right?
Yeah, that's Andy. What up?
Yeah,
What up,
yeah.
Andy?
He said he said it did it to me. Euphoria was it. But to me it just wasn't that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I listened to it twice and it still wasn't. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I think what it is the fact that Drake has been, I guess, popular for so long, and people already got that disdain for Drake. But I came into it without anything, because I mean, I like Kendrick, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, Drake's cool.
Yeah.
But I like Kendrick stuff more, probably more than Drake.
Absolutely.
But I don't hate Drake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He got some stuff that I can, vibe to, a couple little records or whatever. So I went into it. So I went into it with a totally unbiased view and just was listening to the records.
Right.
And to me, when I was listening to those records, I went back and listened to Kendrick rap. I listened to it because they got a video on YouTube where they got them all in order. And I was listening to him back to back. All right, boom, I'm listening to this record. And his records, it just wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Then he did the one where he did the what's the name of that other record? It was like a West Coast club record.
Like Us, Kendrick.
Yeah, like Us. Yeah. And I was like, that didn't really, comparison to Family Matters. I'm like, Family Matters was flowing. It was like, like Us, to me, sound a little bit forced.
Okay.
The way that he was bringing it on, it sound to me, a little bit forced. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion.
Yeah, no doubt.
He said he listened to it 20 times. It's a banger. But how you feel about the Drake records, though?
Which one's the banger? And put it in the comments. Which one you talking about? Drake's or Kendrick's? You probably talking about Like Us, but put it in the comments, bro.
Yeah,
you might have to
put it in the comments, man.
Yeah.
Because I gotta go back and listen to it again. But see, here's the thing: the first reaction is the most truest. The first time you hear it is the most truest, and when you hear this record, you shouldn't have to hear it 2 or 3 times. That first reaction, we didn't have to listen to Ether 2 or 3 times. When Ether came out, he said Drake only had Family Matters, but not everything else. But see, here's the thing, though. Everything else to me wasn't. Everything else was on the same level. I don't think he. Out of all his diss tracks, it was none that I wasn't feeling like, nah, this ain't it. Now, so far as Kendrick, it's like 1 or 2 of those I was like, I don't know. I mean, that's cool, but it ain't. Yeah. It wasn't no punch. Yeah. It wasn't no like like he really said something on that one.
Okay. Yeah.
Where are we going?
Yeah, I think, man, I respect that coming from an unbiased place. That's definitely a good good view to have. My thing is, like I've been saying, I've been on a few pods or whatever. I've been on. Shout out to my boy Shimmer. You know what I'm saying, with Shimmer Views or whatever, Lexington, Kentucky's finest. Got a good show. You know what I'm saying? I was on his show talking about it, and we gotta really get down like to the nitty gritty of things. And what I was telling them about, I know a lot of people don't know because they really wasn't outside. You know what I'm saying? Those days. This kind of reminds me a lot of Jay-Z and Nas. A lot.
You talking about this one?
Yeah. I mean, the behind the scenes and everything, it really reminds me of Jay and Nas, And I'm gonna tell you why it reminds me of that. But I was talking to one of my little brodies at work, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Andrew, you know what I'm saying? Because he's a big, probably Kendrick's biggest fan. You know what I'm saying? But I was letting them know that I got a lot of respect for Jay in the fact of, you know, we all know that Jay messed around with Carmen, you know.
Yeah.
We all know that. We all know that, you know, Jay messed with Nas' baby mama. But in that battle, and in Jay messing with Nas, one thing that Jay didn't do that was respectful. You know, it's and I was watching I was watching Math Hoffa earlier, and Mecca
Yeah, you go ahead.
pointed it out. He was I think it was the Dame Dash show, and he was saying that, you know, it's for no comebacks in life, because they were saying, you know, I think they was trying to address to him that if somebody mess with your money, then, you know, it's no coming back for that. He was like, you know, well, money can be replaced, you know. He said, but it's really, you know, for no comebacks. And two of those I definitely agree with. You know what I'm saying? You don't mess with somebody's wife. You don't mess with somebody's kids. Those are no-goes in anything. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that I respect about Jay, because in his battle with Nas, he never mentioned Destiny, not one time.
Right, right. But who threw the first kid blow though?
You said who threw the first kid blow? In
Yeah.
Jay-Z and Nas?
Nah.
Or this one?
I'm talking about in this battle.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. But just the reason why I say this reminds me of Jay and Nas is the same reason of, you know, Nas and Jay, and, you know, what you're saying about the first kid blow. Even so, you know, Drake is driven by ego a lot like Jay was. You know, a lot of his reasons is from ego. You know what I'm saying? That's something that can't nobody deny, whether you a fan, whether you a stan, whether you dislike him. He's driven by ego. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is this, you know, a lot of those songs was dope, but I can't deny myself as a listener and as a hip hop enthusiast. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who wrote them bars. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's Ghost Riders wrote them. You know what I'm saying? Regardless,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
yeah, and a lot of those songs, you know what I'm saying, sound like he was on the ropes. Kind of reminded me of, you know what I'm saying, Thriller in Manila, when Foreman was swinging on Ali, and Ali was just, you know, rope doping him, and then, you know, in the 11th round, that nigga just came out and just started blaming him. You know, Euphoria, when I first heard it, it didn't catch me either. I was like, what's this? I'm not gonna front. It didn't catch me. I had to listen to it a couple of times. But I'm not gonna sit up here in front. And like what you said, you know, I know a lot of people's gonna be shocked. I know a lot of people's gonna be shocked by what I'm about to say. This is just based off of my opinion. I ain't never heard a man get dismantled like Kendrick dismantled that man and Meet the Grams. Ether wasn't even, it wasn't even that potent like that to me, like Meet the Grams, bro. You,
Think so?
I ain't never heard nobody in hip hop not one time dismantle a man's, for this man to write a letter to this man's moms, his pops, his son, and his unknown daughter. It was over for me. I was done.
Yeah.
Just, you know what
But
I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Just the you know what I'm saying, the thought of him and the idea of doing that, and, you know, everybody's talking about, you know, he sounds relaxed or whatever. He okay, we never really heard that in hip hop before in the battle, but you know what I'm saying? Just because that's the first time don't mean it's whack. I mean, let's just be honest here. I mean, hit him up. What did Tupac really say and hit him up? Just because he was yelling and screaming, fat nigga, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. I
Right.
did this, I did
Well,
that.
I think it was what I think it was more what I was saying in the beginning, the shock factor.
Yeah,
And see that's what I was saying about, Kendrick with the Meet the Grams, is that to me it just didn't have that shock value. Now, when I listen to Family Matters, I was like, oh, he's saying some, you know what I'm saying? When when he talked about, who was it? Dave Free,
day
he
free.
was
Yeah,
saying, and I was like, he's saying some, you know what I'm saying? When I was listening to, like you said, to Meet the Grams, it was bringing me back to a concept record. But
yeah,
to me, the punches just it wasn't staying
yeah,
there to me.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I
yeah,
mean, he was saying some stuff. I
yeah,
ain't, yeah, it's a dope record. It just wasn't staying.
yeah.
It
Okay.
was like a punch he throw, like, damn, yeah, that was a good hook. But
Yeah,
it
yeah,
just wasn't like, ooh, like
yeah,
he's really hit.
yeah, yeah. I know a lot of people were saying that. I mean, I guess it's just, tomato, tomato, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of what you like. And I think a lot of people did feel like that, which made him make Not Like Us. Now, when I heard Not Like Us, that that kind of brought me back to that brought me back to the Bay days with, you know what I'm saying? That sounds like something Mac Dre would do, something, old school E40 would have done. And it was kind of like he was making a mockery out of him, you know what I'm saying? Because we all know Drake, one thing that he tried to do, you know what I'm saying, was really tried to walk on that West Coast vibe, but he couldn't get it. So it was kind of like he was making a mockery, like, yeah, nigga, this is what you tried to do, but it didn't work for you. You know what I'm saying? At a period of time or whatever, because he tried to use that rapping forte um cadence in what was it? I think it was ASAP Rocky song or whatever. And then he tried to use it in another song. And I think Rapping Forte spoke about it in an interview, and they was trying to say, he was trying to get that Mac Dre vibe or whatever, and there was a lot of West Coast people that wasn't feeling it. So I think that's why Kendrick did Not Like Us, basically, because Gilly was saying about the cadence, and everybody was talking about you know Euphoria, and Meet the Grams was putting them to sleep. And it was kind of like he walked, like, okay, I'm gonna make a dance song out of this. Like, I'm gonna make a mockery out of this. You know what I'm saying? Because uh, Drake tried to really use that West Coast vibe, and it didn't work out for him. You know what I'm saying? And
Are you
um,
talking about the Taylor May freestyle where
Drake,
you did yeah, you talking about the Taylor May, or are you talking about a different,
nah,
you talking about
I'm
another
talking about, you know
past
what I'm saying?
record,
Yeah, I'm
past
talking
records he made?
past records where
Oh,
he tried to use it.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of West Coast people wasn't feeling it. I know
Was
rap,
feeling it,
yeah,
okay.
Rapping Forte spoke about it, years ago about him trying to use it. You know what I'm saying? And they wasn't feeling it or whatever. And I think that's why Kendrick went that way. But my thing is this, man. Overall, about this ego thing, you know, um, I didn't feel the fact of, yeah, it was some things mentioned, but him mentioning, the Dave Free situation, um, I feel like that messed him up. I feel like that's gonna mess him up. Just like I said in a podcast earlier this week, it's already being shown that, he said in I think it was Family Matters, and then he really said a lot in what's that The last record he made, what was it, 6 in the morning or something like that?
Talking about 616. Talking about Kendrick's record.
Yeah, yeah. Drake, when Drake,
616.
yeah, when Drake made
You talking about? You talking about? Was it? Is it? Was that the now the Heartbeat 6? The
Heartbeat, yeah,
Heartbeat.
hard part, the hard part 6, yeah, that's what it is. Drake's, you know, when I don't know, his demeanor on that kind of reminded me of Kendrick's demeanor on Euphoria. It was like, you know, a lot of stuff he was saying in that song was stuff that Kendrick said he was trying to, you know, make a case for, and it was kind of like he was speaking defeat or whatever, talking about, you know, they you know, made a fake mole and all of this stuff. And I'm like, you know, why are you explaining all of this? You know what I'm saying? And then for him to use Tupac's and Snoop's voice without their permission, and then blam, Tupac's family, you know what I'm saying, shot litigation for him for using that, made him take it down. You know what I'm saying? That was like a defeat moment. You know what I'm saying? Then he's talking about, you know, right after the Kendrick made Meet the Grams, he was like, you know, somebody can find my fake daughter, you know, I'll quit music or whatever, you know, or whatnot.
Yeah.
You know, he sent the tweet out. You know what I'm saying? It was like, nigga, why you tweeting? Like, you know, this is music. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Make some music. You know, you sending tweets out or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, his whole profile in what he's doing, and now there's litigation going on about the Dave Free situation because, you know, his bodyguard the other day, they were saying that his bodyguard got shot in front of his house. Now it's coming out that, you know what I'm saying, that somebody from his team did that. You know what I'm saying, to try to cause a diversion in it or whatever. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? When
Well, I thought differently though. You know, I thought when I heard the Taylor Made, I thought the Taylor Made was kind of clever because Kendrick didn't respond for 2 or 3 weeks, and
yeah,
he did the record. Then when I heard the Tupac thing, you know, I thought it was kind of clever because that's a big thing that's going on now with the
with
AI.
with the
People putting
AI. Yeah,
down fake,
exactly.
you know what
Exactly.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
People putting out fake things, but see the way Pac was rapping, I knew it was actually Drake rapping. He just used Tupac's voice as like
Yeah.
Tupac coming back, telling him, "You supposed to be, you know, you supposed to be the #1 dude, but you ain't, you know."
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was kind of clever
Yeah.
myself, but
Yeah.
you know, everybody got their, you know, different opinions.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. It seemed like, you know, with all of these things, it was like, you know, he was speaking, you know, defeat or whatever. We all know with the Push situation when Adonis came out, it wasn't nothing he could say after that. You know what I'm
yeah, but
saying?
see, that's the difference. When I heard Pusha record, I was like, yeah. Even when Joe Budden battled, people forget Joe Budden battled Drake. The Joe
Absolutely.
Budden,
Yeah.
this is, you know, those punches was there. It
Yeah.
was just when Kendrick's, it just, you
Yeah.
know, it just wasn't, you know,
It
it just
wasn't
wasn't
hitting.
solid punches to
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, it just wasn't hitting, you know. But yeah, man, I just think it was some
Hold on for
yeah,
one
yeah,
second. Hold
yeah,
on for 1 second,
yeah.
bro.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, as far as music goes, you know what I'm saying? I think both of them did, you know, pretty good musically on the aspect of music. Now, you know, take music out of it, you know, some it's some things that, you know, both of them are gonna, you know, have to go through and feel. You know what I'm saying? Some of the stuff that was suggested by Drake about, you know, Kendrick's wife, you know, possibly
Well,
having. Yeah, go ahead.
let me ask you something first because I want to bring this to people's attention too. Now, what about? Because I know we talked about it the last live we done. What about the J Cole record? Do you feel like J. Cole put it to him on when he came out with his record about Kendrick.
Nah, not really. Nah, I think it. You know, it's a lot of that was left out from Cole. Cole could have, you know, really went someplace else. Cole could have really made a career out of this, you know, battle. But you know, Cole.
He didn't want to do that, but you know, I think it was a solid. I mean, to me, it was a solid punch.
Yeah, it was a punch, but he could have went harder than that. And you know, a lot of people didn't really understand it. I didn't understand it, but you know, a couple of days ago, I seen a few outlets talking about it, and it made sense. You know, I seen people saying, you know, a lot of people saying that Schoolboy Q was the reason why Cole bowed out gracefully. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Why? Why? Because he's cool with Schoolboy.
Well, you know, yeah, they got a relationship, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
was Schoolboy, what they was basically saying, you know, Schoolboy kind of told him, you know, to apologize, you know, early before it got to an ugly place. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, you know, I spoke about on a few podcasts, you know, like I said, my boy Shimmer show. I spoke about it on another radio show as well. That's the part that nobody's thinking about. You know what I'm saying? And right after I did my boy Shimmer show, it was a few hours right after I did that show when the details came out about, supposedly a bodyguard got shot. And a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
from that show was hitting me up like, dang man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you really, you know what I'm saying? Like basically they were saying that I predicted it, you know, because of the things that I was saying. And you know, it's not really, it's not hard to tell at all, you know. And the reason why I said that is because, you know, the same thing happening, you know, with Biggie and Tupac. You know, it really wasn't a back and forth battle, but people didn't think about what could happen after it. You know what I'm saying? And when you add those details to this battle, you know what I'm saying? Like you really start thinking about it in another way. You know, and that's what I think, you know, what I was saying about Drake, you know, and that's why it's driven by ego, you know, regardless if it was ghostwriters that wrote some of these bars, which, you know, it's proven other people wrote some of these songs on the credits. That's already proven. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think he took time enough to really, you know, go over, you know, what he was saying about another man, rather than, you know, really taking time to be like, you know, do I really want to take it here? And, you know, am I going to back up? Because there's a lot of people on outlets today talking about it. I seen a few people, you know, talking about, you know, where's Drake's backup? His backup ain't nowhere to be found. You know what I'm saying? Lil Wayne ain't said nothing. Nicki Minaj ain't said nothing. Birdman ain't said nothing. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this, and we already know what happened, you know, to one man when it comes to, you know, all of this pedophile stuff. You know what I'm saying? And certain people came out or whatever. You know, now the thing is that, you know, people are looking for when, you know, his tour is over with now, but people are looking, you know what I'm saying, when he's coming back on tour. And I told my homeboy, you know, I said, you know what this reminds me of? I said, this reminds me of when, you know, in the movie, but we know it happened in real life too, when Biggie, you know, made Who Shot You, he wasn't thinking about, you know, I'm gonna have to go on the West Coast and perform this song one day. And then, you know, and then he did go perform it. And then it was, you know, a situation that happened that, you know, E40's homeboys, you know, caught up with Big and basically, you know, put a gun to his head and was going to kill Big over the comments he said about E40. You know what I'm saying? And E40 got on the phone and basically they had a, you know, conversation or whatever. And E40, you know, told his boys to basically let him go, and they was mad because they was ready to kill him and shoot him up. But he's like, nah, man, let that man live. You know what I'm
So
saying? So
you talking about Big?
yeah, Big, yup. You know, when Biggie made them comments on the radio about E40 and them being
Oh,
trash and all of
yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
you know, and then
yeah.
he went out to the West Coast and did that show up in the Bay, and he didn't think 1 second what he said on the radio was gonna come back to haunt him. You know, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with Kendrick. Regardless if this is a battle or not, you know what I'm saying? Us, you know what I'm saying? We know the difference between music and real life. We know battles. But you got to think about the people out there that, you know, that didn't grow up like us. And, you know what I'm saying? This is like real life to them, the stuff that's being said. You
Right.
know, and on Drake's side, you know, he ain't got no killers behind him like that. But one thing I can say, Kendrick do. You know what I'm saying? And even
Yeah,
if
that's true.
even if Kendrick, you know, do got killers, take them out of it. Kendrick, there's people in LA that are fans of Kendrick that'll do something to Drake just over the fact of him being a pedophile that just came home from jail or went to jail from that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but see, here's the thing about that though, about the whole pedophile thing, because I'm like, do we know that 100% to be true though? You know what I'm saying? Because when
I'm glad.
I was listening, when I was looking at when I heard it from you know, Kendrick, I was like, well, I mean, I ain't really seen nothing. He's been out years and years, and all of a sudden we see these little videos of people putting up, he was on stage with some girl and
Yeah,
he kissed her.
yeah,
I'm like, okay, but
yeah,
how old was he during that time? Was he in his 20s?
yeah,
Was he, and do we know how old that girl was? Was she
yeah,
18? Was she,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah. She
So, you
came
know,
out and
to
made a
me,
statement about it a few days ago.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. But you
yeah,
know what I'm saying? To me, it was like, I mean, it is that something that just some dirt somebody just really putting out there to just say it, or is it really true?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. But
And I mean, Kendrick said a lot, but
yeah,
see, the stuff that Drake was saying on record to me was a little bit more believable. That
yeah,
it was like when he said something about the Dave Free thing, I'm like, that sounds like something that ain't like a rumor. It's something that's like, I got sources that know, you know, what's happening over there, that, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Then when his baby mama was coming out, I was like, I don't know. People actually seeing this, and maybe I don't know. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
I don't know why I'm thinking, you know, this way, but it just didn't. You know, a lot of his stuff on the record to me, yeah, it sounded good, but I don't know if I believed it 100%. Yeah, some of the psychological stuff about him, well, he ain't black enough and blah blah blah. Yeah, but I mean, his dad's white. His dad's black.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? And I
yeah,
mean, he is rapping.
yeah,
So, you know, yeah,
yeah.
you can say that, but who got the better record?
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? That's where I came from with it. You
Yeah.
know,
But I
who's
mean,
got the better
look at
who's
where
got the
we
better
at right
record?
now with Diddy. You know, it's a lot of people saying a lot of stuff about, you know, him and what happened, what he's been
Yeah, but
doing.
see, we know for sure. Well, we've been knowing some stuff that's been going on with Diddy though.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
but
We've been,
he
you
ain't been
know,
prosecuted yet.
not the kid stuff, but the other stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
we've been hearing about the funny business and
Yeah,
that, but so far as the Drake thing, you know, I didn't really take it. I didn't really take it too far when I heard he called him. You know, I was like, okay, but I ain't really seen nothing yet. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Until I see something, I'm gonna be like, oh,
Yeah,
okay, let me
yeah,
back up. You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
You know,
But I'm saying more of the like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the stuff that he's saying about Kendrick, it can probably hit home, but which one, you know, the stuff he's saying about Kendrick, who gonna do something to Kendrick about that stuff? It ain't, you know, it might be a few people that be like, man, that's messed up, or that nigga's a simp.
yeah,
But it ain't gonna be too many people, you know what I'm saying, to try to violate Kendrick over the stuff Drake's saying. Now
right, right, right,
the stuff Drake's saying, you know what I'm saying, we all know it's violators out here that have killed people and, you know what I'm saying, have done stuff to people just for people with it just being a rumor. It don't even have to be true, you know what I'm saying, for these people to try to do something to you. Now
right,
he gotta, you know,
right.
he gotta go back to LA and do a show. Now the question is, are they gonna let him come there and do a show? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the conversation that Schoolboy was having with J. Cole. And that's
Well,
something that
yeah,
Cole didn't really, you know what I'm saying, he didn't really think about, and probably what, you know what I'm saying, made him change his mind because, you know, Schoolboy just did an interview recently with Nori.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I seen the interview about him. You know, people asking him, you know, is it safe to come out in LA or something? And do you got to check in? And he was like, you ain't got to check in with nobody. Stop going to these, you know, places that you don't need to be at. You know, do
That's
your show and go
that's
home. You know,
that's
I'm at home playing video games,
yeah.
waking up. I got to take my daughter to soccer
Straight
practice.
up.
You know,
That's what I'm saying. So, you know, Kendrick ain't gotta check in when he go to T Dot. You know what I'm saying? But now all of this
mm-hmm,
stuff being said, because like we just pointed out a few minutes ago, you know, we all know Kendrick, where his family resides and where they come from. You know, most of his family come from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? They live on the West Coast now. You know, he got a lot of family on the West
mm-hmm.
Coast. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, you can't tell me, just like you know, what's his name? I believe it's David Mack or whatever, the ex-cop, you know, who they saying killed Big or whatever. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I mean, he ain't have nothing to do with the situation, but look what happened. You can't tell me it ain't somebody on the West Coast that will take that chance to make a name for themselves for doing something to homeboy. You
Yeah,
can't tell
yeah,
me. Can't nobody tell me that there ain't nobody on the West Coast that won't try it just off the fact of, you know what I'm saying, of what Kendrick is, because he might not be big here where we at or whatever, or where everybody else is at in Philly where Gilly is, and you know, he might not be big up in New York, even though, you know, sources are saying, you know, why Kendrick went and got a apartment in Brooklyn or whatever. Well, I mean, he might be doing a movie. It's a lot of stuff he might do. We don't know.
right.
But, you know what I'm saying? He can always go home. You know, he can always fly home. I'm sure he got, you know, a couple of spots in LA or whatever. But the question is, the homeboy talking all of this talk, he ain't thinking about what can happen. That's why I'm saying it reminds me of Jay and Nas, you know, because Jay, the last thing he thought when he was on that Summer Jam, when he was at Summer Jam and he put Prodigy on the screen, the last thing he thought was, I'm gonna have to see this man in person one day.
Right, right,
You
right.
know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, that's true.
You know,
But
go ahead.
here, here's here's the thing, though. You know, so far as backing and things like that. I mean, I mean, listen, man. You know, even in the street, if you got the bag, you good.
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely. Yeah, straight up.
Because I mean,
Absolutely.
Drake got the
Yeah.
money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, regardless if you know, Kendrick might have
Yeah.
people, but Drake got the bag. And see, we gotta look at somebody else too when it comes to that. You know, another guy, 50 Cent.
Yeah.
50 wasn't ain't like, you know, the most well now, you know, since you know all the beats to kind of
Yeah.
settle down and this and
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
he wasn't the most liked,
Nah,
but he
not at
had the
all.
bag.
Not at all. Yeah.
He had the money.
Yeah. 50
So I
crazy too.
mean,
He crazy in the
he got a more street background than Drake.
Absolutely.
You know what
Absolutely. You
I'm
do.
saying? Coming
Absolutely.
from, you know, coming from the south side of Queens, Jamaica, or whatever. But you know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? He had the money to be able to, you know, take care of whatever it needed to take care of.
Yeah. Yeah. Straight
You know
up.
what I'm saying? And Drake got a couple of mutual relationships. Like, you know, I think he's still cool with Game and you know, Wack. You know, I see Game jumped in.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Yeah, just
I don't know why.
Because it's Game.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what Game do. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? And you know, Game is one of my, top rappers.
Absolutely.
You know, from the West. But you know, I'm just like, come on, Game, just chill out a little bit. I mean, Ross came in. Ross got in it because Drake threw a shot at him. That's why he was just defending his ground. You know,
not really. Not really, bro.
Didn't Drake on the push up? No, that was
he threw a shot at him on push ups.
Yeah.
But that's after what happened, and that's what I'm saying, along with the pedophile, allegations or whatever, and Drake being driven by ego. One thing we all know Drake is known for, and he got checked on it a couple of times, which started all of this, but ain't nobody really checked him, you know what I'm saying, like they could. But, what I was saying to, my other homeboys, I hope and pray that, it don't have to come to that. But that's not a game that he needs to be playing with. But really, you know what I'm saying, and Ross got into it because, I can't think of her name, the model that Ross was with. They broke up, and you know what I'm saying, Drake sent the invitation to his show. You know what I'm saying? But Drake is known for trying to mess with other dudes' girls.
Yeah. Because it came out. He said something about somebody put a post up, said he messed with one of Lil Wayne's exes or something. Something like that.
Yeah. But Lil Wayne wasn't tripping about it. We all know him and Kanye with Kim. You know what I'm saying? Drake is known for that. And it ain't really came to a head, from that. But, just like it's, killers that don't play with that, pedophile stuff.
Yeah.
It's killers, what I'm saying, that don't play with trying to mess with another man's woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Regardless if you trying to, do it from a literal sense or you doing it from, a verbal sense or whatever, talking about, another man and the kid not being yours. There's people out here that don't play with that either. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, that's true. But it goes back to what Gilly was saying. It's like when you dissing somebody, it's like all in. It's like you ain't being nice about it. And I think that's what Gilly the Kid was saying. It was like Kendrick's songs was like he was throwing shots, but it was more like he was being nice and strategic about it. You know what I'm saying? And it was like when you in a battle, it's all gloves off.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to hear something that's like, oh man, what what I'm saying? I want to put my movie glasses on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To be at the cinema, like I'm really, seeing and hearing some action, behind it.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what I mean, it goes back to what I was saying, the shock value.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, for me, and I'm not trying to defend Drake. I'm just giving people my real reaction to all the diss records. And the shock value of the Kendrick records wasn't higher than the Drake. You know what I'm saying? The reason being is kind of like what I was saying about the MGK and the Eminem. It's like Eminem done what we expected him to do. But when MGK came out with the record, it was like, oh, shit, he's really going in on Eminem. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that stock value just kind of outshined him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's what happened in this particular battle for me, is that the shock value of the disc records that Drake was putting out was a little bit more higher than the Kendrick one was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted Kendrick to really go, you know what I'm saying? Like when he came out with the Euphoria record, it was like it sounded like another record from what was his last album we done?
Mr.
No,
Morale.
not his last, not his last album. The one before that,
Damn.
Well, damn. Then it was another one before that. You know, it sounded like it could have been on that album.
Okay.
You know, the one where it said "The Blacker the Berry" or whatever.
Yeah.
Then he went. Then that was something else that I'm gonna bring back to my attention, is that Kendrick played off the fact that Drake was mixed, but then he went back at Kendrick and said, "Yeah, you saying that the blacker the berry, sweeter the juice, but your baby mama."
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, that was like a counterpunch. Like, all right, you know, Kendrick throwing this, haymaker, and Drake kind of blocked it and hit him with a tougher, counterpunch. It's kind of like when Ali fought Frazier.
Yeah.
You know, Ali hometown.
Yeah.
But Frazier,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Frazier kind of pulled some shit out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
First time, yeah, he caught him.
He kind of pulled some shit out.
Yeah.
It was like, oh,
yep, he threw him off the game. Yeah, straight up.
Yeah. So yeah.
He did throw him off. He did. He definitely did, for sure. That's something that can't nobody deny when it comes to
But the real subjects of it, so far as a pedophile and things like that, I think that's gonna open some conversations.
It's kind of like
it's kind of like the ether when he said it burns slow. It's like a slow kill.
Yeah.
I think Kendrick's punches may hit harder later on.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That they start opening some doors to some other stuff, but the initial punch, the first reaction, I was like, I feel like Drake. The initial punches.
What'd you feel about Metro making the BBL Drake beat? Did you hear that?
No, I haven't heard that yet, but I heard about it. Yeah, I haven't heard that yet. What you said, a BBL beat?
Yeah, he made, trying to, basically shoot back at him or whatever, for him saying what he said on
shoot back at Drake.
Telling him to shut up and make some drums, Yeah. With Drake
okay.
Yeah, but he shot back or whatever. He said he got some stuff in the archives that he's gonna let out later about him, some details or whatever, but I don't know. But it was supposed to be.
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah. No. Go ahead. Finish your thought, bro.
It was supposed to be an album that dropped this past Friday, but for some reason it didn't come out. You know what I'm saying? But it might be some behind the scenes stuff with that. Yeah, but Future was supposed to drop a mixtape, but it didn't come out.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah.
Then something else I wanted to say too. We gotta think about the initial blow. Kendrick, the one that opened the doors. When you throw the first punch, you can't say, "Oh, okay, you need to punch like this. You need to not say that in the fight." You know what I'm saying? Once you throw the initial blow, you left the table open.
Yeah, absolutely.
What I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So he threw the first punch. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like when Nas with Ether. People heard Ether, they was like, what do you say? Well, whistles like a cat compared to beans and whack. You know what I'm saying? It's like that barbershop.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that's that conversation that we've been having in the barbershop for
A
years.
long
And
time.
he
Yeah.
finally put
Straight
it
up.
out on the record.
Straight up.
He finally put it out on the record. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
You know, whether it's true or not, you know, it's up to people's opinion. But
Yeah.
I mean, it was still something that was in the air, and you know,
Absolutely.
people that was talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah. We really gotta highlight, you know, rapper, MC. You know,
See,
we really gotta highlight that because that's something that a lot of people forget. You know, and I think between, you know, Drake and Kendrick, I think both sides was displayed, you know, from the both of them on different parts, and it you know, it really stood out
Well,
in the both of them.
well, let me ask you something, bro, because I want to bring this to forefront too. So, you know, we talk about the rapper and MC. Now we know that, you know, about Drake ghostwriting and, you know, having ghostwriters and something. But there was a time where in the beginning of the game, he didn't have that.
Yeah,
And we all know, and really you can hear it in his music.
yeah.
We should all know and recognize who Drake's favorite rapper is.
Ah, yeah, that's a given. Yeah, that's a given. The
You know,
cadence.
but people's not talking about that. I'm hearing, that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying about bias, you know, views. Because okay, we know Kendrick, yeah, absolutely, 100%
Yeah,
Kendrick. You know what I'm saying, MC, whatever. But Drake has a kind of a backpacker's background. His favorite
yeah. I mean, but
rapper was Fonte.
yeah, I
Like his
mean,
favorite rapper was Fonte and Little Brother.
yeah,
Like you can't
yeah.
get no more dirty underground than that.
Nah, you can't. You
You know what I'm
definitely
saying?
can't. You
You know,
definitely can't.
he's not like a what do you call it? He's not like a Lil Yachty or somebody like that. You know what I'm
No,
saying? Where his
but
rapper might be
Fonte's recognized by more people, you know, than you would expect. Even Doja Cat was talking about Fonte.
right. But what I'm saying is Fonte's the MC's MC.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
And he started, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Dirty underground, and you know, Drake, he has that side in him. That's the reason why he's able to do kind of the things that he does on
yeah,
record, is
yeah.
because he does have that dirty, you know what I'm saying? Really, he didn't do nothing but merge the dirty underground with the trap shit.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
what he did. That's his whole that's his whole ingredient. He was the first
Absolutely.
one to really take the dirty underground and merge it with the trap shit and bring it to y'all on the forefront.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
He merged a Little Brother with the Lil Wayne and the, you know what I'm saying, and the Rick Ross, the T.I., the Jeezy, and all that when that was coming out, and he merged all up together with the little bit of Houston, and boom, there, there you have it.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I just want to bring that to the forefront.
You think you're gonna drop
And
an album this year,
who you talking about? Fonte?
Drake? Think there's a
I don't know.
think it's a
I mean, I don't know.
possibility?
I mean, he can't. I don't see why not. You know what I'm saying? People saying that, oh, this battle hurt his career. I said, why?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I don't see. I don't see why. You said, well, Nike. He's supposed to come out with a sneaker now. he ain't coming out. I said, well, why not?
Yeah.
It just don't make no sense to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think we should be past being too sensitive about battles,
Very
man.
much
You know
so. Yeah,
what I'm saying? Since Biggie Pac and all this other stuff, I mean, we done been through worse real beefs. I ain't gonna say battles, beefs.
Yeah,
Literally, you know, with Jeezy and Gucci and you know what I'm saying? We done been through some serious situations in hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, he can. I don't see why not, but I don't know if he will because he just came out. Did he come out with an album earlier this year when it For All My Dogs dropped? Yeah. So, and I have not listened to that album. So you know that goes. You know, I'm being unbiased. So y'all can't. You know.
Yeah.
Y'all can't say he's an undercover Drake fan. I haven't listened to that album.
Yeah.
I'm being straight up on my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean he might come out with something at the end of the year. I don't think he has to. I think that album probably did pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, so far as the numbers, he did say that. He said my album did better than yours. You know, I get, you know, we don't really judge the numbers, you know, of you being a great artist, but you know, this is the music business and sales are sales, bottom line, you know.